Hey guys, alright, I wanted to give you a look-see at the Enterprise so far. So these are 3 of the 4 internal rooms. This is the Arboretum, the Modified Officer's Lounge, and the Shuttle Bay. Over here are the last of the little people that I finished painting. Let me see, do I have anything? There we go. This is the head of a screw, just a normal sheetrock screw. So that lets you that gives you an idea of how small these things are. So these are the ones that I have left. I chose that these guys right here are going to still go inside the shuttle bay. These guys right here will be in the officer's lounge, and these guys will be in the recreational deck. And I chose these guys walking because the shuttle bay is the biggest one. And this little guy right here is actually in a sitting position. So it's going to be kind of cool to put him in a chair. Alright, here's the Arboretum. It is now completely finished. Alright, fiber optic in the way. And as you can see, I got all the little people installed that are going to be in there, that is. A little group of them right there, one standing there, one walking, one standing. I like doing ones like this guy right here, because when you look at the Arboretum through the windows, you'll actually be able to see him staring back at you. Got one standing right down in here, and then got one walking through the canopy. You can see through it. I was really happy with how this one came out, and as you guys can see in the photos, when I put the glue on there, it looked like I ruined it. But now, this thing is solid as a rock. You know, it's not going to go anywhere. All these pieces are very, very strong. And that's what's so great about that glue. When it evaporates, it dries a matte finish, and it is very strong. And then, here's the officer's lounge. I've got the wall color on there. Well, one coat at least. I still need to paint the floors. I need to paint all the seats and the stands. This section over here, I was simply going to have a clear piece of acrylic running through and lighting it up. But the more I looked at it and the more I kept looking at the movie, I just didn't like how that looked. Because in the movie, it's actually got foliage in there. And I realized even though it's extremely small, you can see my thumb, even though it's extremely small, there is still enough space in there for me to get some foliage. So I'm going to make that into foliage and have some light, some fiber optics shining from the back to light it up. So I think it's going to be really cool when I get it done. Now, onto the shuttle bay. As you can see, got all the shuttles in that are going to be in there. Got 4 worker bees on the right, 1 worker bee there on the left, 2 transport pods, the cargo pods with people, and the 2 elevators. Now as you can see, these elevators, there was a lot of detail put into these. Let me see if I can get closer here. So as you can see, we have a lighter color internal, a lighter brown, dark brown in the middle, and then we have all these ribs running around both the shuttle bays, or elevator shafts. And the more I kept looking at the movie, the more I started noticing the detail on it. So I wanted to try it, see if it would come out on these, and it did. Now these are very small. They are about 1 inch tall. That's how tall these things are. 1 inch tall by maybe 1/4 of an inch wide. And as you can see, the little people, these little cargo containers are in the same location as in the movie. There is one right back here. Got 2 people standing up here looking at these cargo containers. I think this is kind of cool. We have this guy talking, and if you can tell, this guy's head is angling down, like looking at the floor. I thought that was kind of funny because it looks like he's being reprimanded for something. Coming back, here we go, here he is. This little guy right here is mopping the floor, but I painted it silver to make it look like it's some kind of futuristic mop. Some of the guys, like there's an Andorian, then just humans, Andorian. Some of the guys are full black, because I know that there were some creatures that were black. Here's one. He's all black right there. Let's see. He's black. So I thought that was kind of cool. And I have one little guy squatting down, as you can see, working on a worker bee. This guy's walking out of one of the doors. So I'm really happy with how this is coming out. This one is going to sit more like that. It's not quite glued in yet because, as you can see, I still have to sand it. But that will sit more like that, and you'll be able to look down. There we go. You'll be able to look down the shuttle bay shaft. Now, when it actually comes down to it, it's going to look like this. Okay? And when you look up, you will be able to see back there. Not much. It's having a hard time. Let's see if I can zoom in on it. There we go. So as you can see, like, you will be able to see back there a little bit, but not a whole lot. But it lets you know that's what's in there, and that's how little this thing's really going to be. The two elevators, I'm really happy with how they came out. Sorry, let me fix that. There we go. I'm really happy with how the elevators came out on this whole thing. Okay. Lastly, on the shuttle bay, it's kind of hard to, can't really get the light behind it, but you can see there we go. See how those little indentations along the wall? Those I drilled out with a 0.5mm drill bit, and they will have a blue light shining in them, just like the movie. As you can see, this side of the shuttle bay, I don't have the holes drilled out yet. But this side they are. You can see all those little holes. And those are all going to wrap around somewhere probably on top or on the bottom, where I'll have a blue LED in a little piece of styrene tubing. And here are all the holes for the runway strip. I'll put those in after the whole thing's closed up. Here's the lid. It'll go on. So none of the walls are glued down yet, because I still have a little bit of work to do inside. But that's how it's coming out. I'm really happy with this one. It looks almost exactly like the movie, down to the, as you can see, the green walls, the blue walkway, and it's really difficult to see, but down at the bottom, these bottom walls are gray. It's really hard to see, but they're great. You won't be able to see it when it's closed up. Doesn't matter. It's accurate. All the railings are gray. Everything are green. After looking at the movie, I feel I got it very close. Obviously, this back here we don't know because they didn't show it in the movie, but I painted it the same color as these supports right down here. I figured, since it's all roughly the same color, they would leave it the same color. So I painted those supports that color. But as you can see, it's painted a matte finish, so it's not a glossy shine. It gives it more of a naval carrier look. Well, older naval carriers, that is. But I'm really happy with this one. I just think it looks really good. So, alright, well that's all I have so far, guys. It's been a lot of work, but these internal rooms are what take the longest. But they're also what are looked at the most for the detail inside. And I wanted to make sure these looked accurate to the movie. Well, I'll keep working on these, get them closed up, and then it'll be on to working on the internal structure and lighting. Alright guys, hope you're enjoying.